Hey guys, Syn here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so a couple of hours ago we got some posts on the official social media for Dokkan to announce 4 of the EZAs that are upcoming. Well, 3 of them are super EZAs and 1 of them is a normal EZA. So with these being announced on Twitter today, which is actually a day earlier than I would normally have expected, I'm not sure when we'll see these EZAs drop, because usually we get Twitter details, then the next day a data download, then the next day the units drop in the game. But as these have come out on what is Saturday morning for me, Friday evening for you guys in the US, I'm sure, this would mean that the normal schedule would mean data download tomorrow, but they never do data downloads at the weekend. So the data download probably should still be on Monday, but then it's possible the data download is early Monday and then these guys just drop straight away early on Monday, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I haven't looked at these at all yet. I just woke up, saw that these had been posted a couple of hours ago. So we're going to jump in and go through all the details, and I'll give you guys my genuine first reaction and thoughts to whether these cards are good or not. We got the 2 Super Saiyan 4s, we got STR Omega, and we have Tech Syn. So all 4 of these units are going to make very, very good additions to the respective Part 2 units teams, right? Gogeta's team and then Omega's team. So let's go ahead and take a look at Super STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So maybe what I should do here as well, actually, let's get their, let me get his actual like pre-EZA details up on my phone just so I can have a quick, or pre-Super EZA, I should say. Okay, so basic effects: 2 key, attack and defense 200%, and a great chance to crit. So much higher stats. The key is extra, and then 70% chance to crit is added as well. Per super class ally attacking in the same turn, attack and defense 100% and damage reduction 10%. So it does not say excluding self. So that means on a full super class rotation, he's getting another 300% attack and defense and 30% damage reduction. When there's an extreme class enemy, or when there is another GT Heroes ally in the same turn, all allies attack 40%, and he launches an additional super. So it gives attack support. Of course, that's just going to make Gogeta go even more crazy. Gets a guaranteed additional super. When attacking with 12 or more key, 150% extra attack. When receiving an attack as the first or second attacker in the turn, 200% defense. And then when receiving a super attack, extra 100% defense temporarily, and a high chance to nullify and counter with tremendous power. So this is great. This is the #1 thing that we were hoping that they would do. Shout out to my boy Weaver Class, mentioned it in the stream last night. The big thing that we really wanted to see was them increase this medium chance of them to counter a super, which is only 30%, to a high chance, which is 50%. So now it becomes a little bit more reliable. I mean, it's still a coin flip, but there are situations where, especially with rotation locking and stuff like that, where, you know, you knew if these guys were going to get hit with a super, and it's the same with the LR Super Saiyan 4 versions that are currently temporarily buffed, where you know you're not really going to be able to count on that 30% chance, whereas at least 50-50, that's a lot better. So obviously this is nothing crazy or complicated in terms of a passive, but I think it seems really good if you think about the amount of stats he's going to be getting, right? On a full superclass ally rotation, he's got 500% attack and defense, and then when he gets hit, if he's the first or second attacker, he gets 200% extra defense, and then if it's a super, it's an extra 100% as well, and he's going to have 30% damage reduction. Now, super EZAs don't change the super attack effect, so it doesn't show it on here. We can see from his pre-EZA, so he greatly raises attack for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy, greatly lowers defense, raises defense by 30% for 6 turns. So because he gets a guaranteed additional super with a GT hero ally in the same turn or an extreme enemy, that means he is going to be raising his defense by 30% on both super attacks, and then obviously he has the chance to get a hidden potential additional. The fact that he now has a built-in great chance to crit pretty much means that, like, he doesn't need any crit in his hidden potential, which means I've got to change the build for mine, so that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I think people, like, there are some comments of people saying he doesn't seem good enough, but like, I think with all the stats that he's going to get, like, that's going to be pretty crazy. 500% attack and defense, 30% extra on super at least twice, and then when he gets hit, an extra 200%, and if it's a super, an extra 100% on top of that, which he also has a 50% chance to counter. The only annoying thing is that his defense when receiving an attack is in slot 1 or 2. I don't think he has enough stats really to be in slot 1, although I guess he gets it as soon as he gets hit, so maybe he does. But yes, only slot 1 or 2. So any situations where you would want to put him in slot 3, he doesn't get any extra defense when he gets hit. He'll still get the temporary buff when receiving a super though, so at least there is that. But I would say he seems pretty good. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Then we have Vegeta. Now Vegeta is normally more defensive based than the Goku when they have the comparison of these two Super Saiyan 4s. Goku was a little bit more focused on attack power, and Vegeta a little bit more on defense. So we get his passive up here for the pre-Super EZA. So key 2, attack and defense 200%, launches an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. Okay, so instead of great chance to crit, he has a chance to do another super attack. Per super class ally in the same turn, he has the same thing, 100% attack and defense, 10% damage reduction. Extreme class enemy or GT hero ally, all allies defense 40%, and a guaranteed crit. So they kind of swap abilities, right? So Goku has a 70% chance to crit, but with the allies gets a guaranteed super. Vegeta has a 70% chance to do an extra super, and with the allies has a guaranteed crit. So that's pretty good. All allies defense 40% is obviously good. That includes himself as well. When attacking with 12 or more ki, 100% extra attack. As the second or third attacker in the turn, he gets attack and defense 100%. So he doesn't get that when receiving an attack. So he definitely can't go slot 1. But he gets the extra 100% attack and defense. So he gets attack and defense, whereas Goku gets 200% defense. The difference is Vegeta's getting extra defense from his support, and then obviously Vegeta's actual super attack, his is to greatly raise defense for 1 turn, and then has the attack raise for 6 turns. So if he does the additional super from his passive, he's greatly raising his defense twice, and then obviously he's going to want to be like full additional now. So basically, both the Super Saiyan 4s, you don't really want crit in their hidden potential now, which means I have to massively change both of mine. But I mean, for me, I'm quite fortunate that those like rainbow stones, which I think these guys are on, I'd have to double check again. Like, these were the guys I recommended right at the beginning of the celebration. Don't use those stones until we see what the Super EZAs do, because then you can know who to pick if you don't have them. But for me, with all these guys rainbow, it's kind of an opportunity. I can just grab some of them to change their hidden potential. But yeah, both of these guys seem really good. Goku, I think because he has the on hit, you could put him in slot 1 in certain situations, which I think is good, because you might not want to put him in slot 1 in a lot of scenarios, but because a lot of these fights have rotation locking, I think this kind of gives him the ability to survive in slot 1 a little bit more. And then obviously Vegeta also has the 100% defense temporarily and high chance to counter a super, so I think that's pretty good. They both seem good. I need to see their stats in game, obviously, because just from reading their passive, it doesn't jump out as like, okay, this is the, they're the best Super EZAs in the game now. But the big thing is we have to see Goku's start of turn defense, because then getting that 200% extra when he gets hit, and it's 300% if it's a super, that could be incredibly high, coupled with the 30% damage reduction. Like, that seems like it could be pretty good. So yeah, these guys seem good. Not necessarily like super busted, but we'll have to see in them in game. But just from reading their kits, they seem good, right? Then we've got STR Omega Shenron. Big hopes for this guy. Attack and defense 150. All enemies attack minus 40, and then an additional minus defense 20% for super class enemies. Then he gives full power or GT bosses allies 2 ki and 40% attack, and then an additional 20% attack for characters who are also extreme. Okay, that's really good, because before he just had full power support, right? But they've added in GT bosses, and they've added in the extra, if they're extreme, they get the extra 20%. So he's giving GT bosses allies on the team 60% extra attack, which is pretty nuts. So that's good. Per extreme class ally attacking in the same turn, self-excluded, chance to crit and damage reduction 20%, attack and defense 100% when attacking. So he's going to have 40% damage reduction on like the extreme team. That's pretty good. When there's another full power or GT boss ally in the same turn, attack and defense 150, additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. When attacking with 12 or more ki, attack and defense 100%, and as the third attacker in the turn, or when the target enemy is attack or defense down, attack 150 and launches an additional super. Now, this is really good because with them sharing the same name, like him and the new Dokkan Fest Omega, this guy kind of needed to be a floating slot 3 support for the team. Now, unfortunately, he's old enough that like he doesn't really have a super attack effect. He doesn't raise defense or anything like that. So he's getting a lot of the stats here from the passive. An extra 100% for both attack and defense when attacking is obviously very, very good. But yeah, he's got pretty good stats. Like, he's got, when attacking, in fact, with the extreme class, per extreme class ally on the turn self-excluded. So if there are 2 extreme class allies, and then he's attacking with 12 key, which he should pretty much always be, he's getting 300% attack and defense when attacking. Coupled with having 40% damage reduction, being in slot 3. That should be pretty good. And yeah, the passive attack lowering is obviously really good. That's why he's going to be really helpful for Omega's team for the Rose and Zamasu event, passively lowering Rose's attack. So this guy seems pretty good. He could be interesting for sure. The 60% attack is crazy. It's a shame there's not a defensive support there as well for that team, but man, the combo of attack power with like Omega's domain and then like this guy's support, characters like the AGL Rose support, then STR Rose using his active skill. Like, this team's going to be able to put out such insane damage. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he seems good. Seems like he's got enough kind of tools to survive after attacking. AoEs could be an issue, but he does have at least the 40% damage reduction at least, so he seems pretty good. And then last but not least, we have Tech Syn. So this guy, of course, can be an actual rotation partner for the Omega. So really hoping that this guy is going to be good. So he's got randomly changed key spheres of a certain type to other than Tech to Rainbow. Key 2, attack and defense 150. High chance to crit. High chance to launch an additional super. Then for 1 turn from his entry turn, he has 40% damage reduction. Then when attacking, disable the enemy's guard. Attack and defense 50% per key sphere obtained up to 350. So you want to get 7 orbs ideally. With 2 or more orbs, he gets 20% damage reduction. 3 orbs, 20% crit chance. 4 orbs, another 20% damage reduction. 5 orbs, another 30% crit chance. 6 orbs, a guaranteed additional super. And then 7 orbs, attacked enemies, attack and defense minus 20% for 2 turns. So on turn 1, let's see how many damage reduction ones have we got. It's the 2 orbs and 4 orbs gives him 40. So on turn 1, he's going to have 80% damage reduction. And if he's on turn 1 with Omega, and Omega picks up the Rainbow Orb, he gives the allies 10%. He's going to have 90% damage reduction on turn 1, which is pretty crazy. And then continually like 50% after that, with what, 50% chance to crit, with already a high chance to crit built in. Additional super attack, debuffing the attacked enemy is pretty useful. And then his super attack post EZA is greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn and do supreme damage. So greatly raising attack and defense. He already has a high chance to get an additional super from his passive, and then gets a guaranteed additional if he gets 6 orbs. This team has a lot of orb changing as well, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get the additional, like to get all the orbs that you need for this Syn. So that is pretty good. Lots of extra crit chance and attack and stuff in his passive compared to... Interestingly, his previous orbs, 2, 3 and 4 orbs, gave him extra attack and defense, whereas now he just has the attack and defense and is now getting a bunch of like crit chance, which is interesting. Because he gets the full 50% when attacking per orb obtained. So if you're consistently getting the 7 orbs, he's getting a lot of attack power as well. So he seems pretty good. The 50%, consistently having 50% damage reduction after getting multiple supers that greatly raise his defense is pretty good. So like Omega himself, the fact that he doesn't have guard will be an issue against type disadvantage enemies, but other than that, he should be pretty solid. So I think all 4 of these EZAs seem really good. I don't think, like I say, none of them jump out at me as like, okay, this is the new best EZA. But all of these guys seem good, and they seem to serve the purpose that we want, which is that they will buff their own teams respectively, which I think is very good. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I think the EZAs are solid. That means they should come out Monday or Tuesday morning for me, which is either Sunday evening or Monday evening if you're in the US. But as soon as we know, like when we get the data download, I will of course let you guys know. But let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.